stay low-key when I bang. OG when I, hold up, wait. Low-key when I bang. OG when I slow up, hey. Low-key when I bang. Low-key when I bang. Low-key when I bang. Low-key when I bang.
Peace to the people and welcome to the Collective Unconscious Podcast. I am your host, Jimmy Pay, and today I want to talk to y'all about positive versus and or negative thinking. Okay, now many people out here fail to realize how much this affects us on a daily basis, and many people also fail to realize how many different ways a negative thought or a train of thought can enter into our brain and thought process. Okay, many of us scroll through social media all day long, constantly, and never realize how other people's opinions and thoughts can shape ours. Now, this definitely depends on who you follow. I at least try to follow people who have similar ideals as me, as far as goals and, ideas and things of that nature. And are successful in the industries that I'm successful in, as far as real estate, music, of course, host of different things, books, culture, consciousness, what have you. Anything that's positive and anything that's pretty much trying to build our own communities and families and such. Sort of like a social media mentor almost, just following the steps and advice. Like, I follow a lot of black startup, Instagram pages and, as far as black business pages and things like that. A lot of us don't even know that the food we eat can also affect our thought process, just as far as being unhealthy, because if you're not eating to live, then you're pretty much eating to die. You're eating death, like processed foods, boxed foods. Anything that comes in a box is processed, whether it says vegan or not, whether it says vegetarian or not, it was processed in some kind of way and placed in that package. So the best way, even though I don't follow this to a T, the best is to eat to live, which is fruits. Vegetables are, okay, but as far as human consumption, I feel like, the best thing for us to eat would be fruits, All the carnivores out there who use the excuse, well, we all gonna die anyway, and, it don't matter what we eat, we gonna die. Like, that's a terrible train of thought, just because, you eat meat, you eat a dead carcass, you eat a dead animal. You don't know what happened to that animal before you even bought it, before it even got to the store. There's butchers who butcher these animals up and cut out the cancers and the fucking tumors and drain the pus out these animals. And even the fish, they have parasites in them and things of that nature, and all of these things are cut and the meat is made to look pretty so you can buy it. They add color to it to make it bright and red and whatever color the meat you think it's supposed to be. They add all these additives to these meat to make it pretty so you can buy it. So we have no idea. And people trying to say the same thing about fruits. Well, you got pesticides and all this and that. Well, I'd rather take my chances with fruits and something that came out of the earth, other than, a fucking animal that was raised to live its life just like us, and we slaughtering these animals and eating them just because we think it tastes good with some seasoning on it. But I'm going on a tangent, I'm sorry. Do you think these animals die peacefully with these families? These negative energies are placed into that meat when you eat them. These animals didn't die peacefully, no matter how hard, uncaged animals and they're cage free and all this shit. It don't matter. If the animal, they didn't wait till that animal got old and died for you to eat this meat, because that meat has to be fresh for you to, young and, good meat for you to eat it. So that animal died. They didn't die with his family at his bedside. They died in a terrible fashion. So that energy that was in that animal is now into that meat, and you're eating it, and now that energy is into your body. Energy is always transferred. It never dies. So whether alive or dead, that energy is going into that animal, and you eat that animal, and you're gonna have fucking mad cow disease. So when you consume it, it's transferred into you. Now, we scroll through social media all day long, consuming the thoughts of these other people. It's pouring into your brain all day long, and then you wonder why you feel the way you do. Then it's not always emotional. It manifests into your physical life, you know, emotionally, metaphysically, everything. Energy is everything. Your bad thoughts make you sick. Your bad thoughts make you sick. They make the things around you worse, sort of like a karmic transfer of energy. Because if you putting out negativity, if you're consuming negativity, you're gonna see that into your world, because it's all going into your subconscious, and your subconscious manifests your outer world. Give and you shall receive. As above, so below. It all means the same thing, cause and effect. Look up the law of energy. Just because, I mean, just think about when you see a video of an unarmed black person get killed by a police officer. Just me saying that probably invokes some negativity or some negative thought about that into your brain. And now, or at least it goes into your subconscious, because your logical brain can block out the bad part about it. And then we become so numb as far as seeing these things on a daily basis. Almost every day there's people sharing this shit constantly. And you know, it's desensitizing us as far as what's going on. But just because you see it doesn't mean that it's not affecting you in some kind of way. But the subconscious hears all. And even if you didn't even if you hear something that somebody said, or you think you didn't hear it, you always hear it. It just goes back into your subconscious. That's why you can remember certain things at certain times. It just comes out of nowhere, just because you always hear it. Even though you think you didn't hear it, you say, huh, what? You still heard what they said. And that's why you can remember random shit. And that's why God sees all, and that's why God hears all, because God is in the subconscious mind. God is your subconscious mind. God is all, because God is energy. The devil is also energy. God equals positive. The devil equals negative. The devil is any kind of negativity that is around you. There's no outside devil. There's no outside God. It's all within you. It's all within your brain. So it's all in how you choose to vibe or vibrate. Like, you got to reach a certain vibration to be at your God level, to be at Christ consciousness. So we all need to start vibrating higher. These low level vibrations are the reason why behind what we are going through. And as a reference to Reason, who's in TDE, look at the state we in. We were once like great at the highest level of fucking human beings possible, and the devil came in and then brought us down to this level, because they manipulated us and thinking God was outside of us. And they had us chasing, and they still have us chasing something that's not even there, because all you gotta do is think within and be within. Like, a lot of people can't be alone just because they get to thinking about all the negative shit they're going through, instead of ways to solving it and resolving all these personal issues and all this pain and trauma and, you know, all this shit that they went through. Instead of being alone and being with your thoughts, they'd rather be out and moving around, just because they can't handle the shit. They think they can't handle it, because they think there's some outside force that's gonna help them solve this issue, when all they have to do is sit and think about and resolve these issues on their own. Another tangent. Now, a part of this is systematic and systemic. Yes, trauma has been passed down from generation to generation, but at this point, we can no longer accept this excuse. It's 2019. We know right from wrong, and most of us know why we are in these positions. And if you don't, then that's just ignorance on your part. In the age of the internet, apps such as Uber and Lyft, etc., mean we don't need to go searching for a 9-to-5, or a regular 9-to-5, I should say, to pretty much make money. You can easily create products and sell with no middleman, directly to the customers, through Instagram, Facebook. You know, you can build your own website. That might cost a little money depending on what avenue you go through, but it's not much as far as buying a domain name and all that. And you never have to take a drug test. You can smoke all you want and create these products, make money, and then be out in the world. And, you know, apps like Robinhood, you can invest in stocks without having to think too much. Of course, do your research, because don't just be putting in money, you can lose money, and, you know, all that stuff. So, of course, do your research. But They make it easy for us. There are a million ways out of the rat race now, and the internet needs to be utilized for more than just social media. It used to be called social networking, now it's called social media. They took the network out of it, and now people really don't know how to network. So now let's just elevate our thinking, our vibrations, be positive, be encouraging. We were first forced to be placed into this barrel and coerced to keep each other down and pull each other back for our own personal gain. Now it's time to push each other out, and for those who need extra help, those of us who got out or are right on the edge need to reach back in and pull the others out. Now I'm not saying help those who don't want to be helped or who aren't willing to help themselves. Each one teach one, but those of us who aren't willing to be taught or take on the responsibility to help themselves need to be left behind, flat out. It's no longer every man for himself. It's us or else. It's us against them. It's us or die. It's time to live, eat to live, think to live, live. Be positive. The negative thoughts gonna bring you down. They're gonna make you sick. They're gonna make your world. They're gonna turn your world into hell. That's what hell is. Hell is negativity. And hell is all that negativity that circles in your brain that you can't get out of. So, Jimmy Page. The Real Jimmy Page on Instagram, Collective Unconscious Podcast. 1 time for the queens, 2 times for the kings. Peace.
I'm never stopping no red light till I'm fair right. But them feds watching my grind. No, they never blocking my shine. Rolly watch, no stopping my time. Been running for a long time. Many moons, all eyes on me, bitch. I'm Benny Boom. Ain't no room for these fake rappers. Ain't trappers, say they real, but ain't honest. Nigga acting out. These niggas need father figures. Trying to total me a profit, nigga, to get profits in it. These niggas ain't vibing with you, dropping dollars like a 5%. Woo! Laugh at them like LOL, LMA. Oh, I ain't tripping, no DMX, I ain't slipping. Hoe gassed up like a get and go. Now say that bitch, I'm
I
lost.
stay low key when I bang. OG when I, hold up, wait.